Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to explore the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah, an important event in Islamic history. Our story begins with the Prophet Muhammad. One day, he had a dream. In this dream, he saw himself and his companions performing Umrah in Mecca. The Prophet shared this dream with his followers, and they all decided to set off towards Mecca to perform Umrah. The Prophet Muhammad and around 1,400 of his companions began their journey towards Mecca. They were in a state of ihram, which means they were dressed in simple clothing and were not carrying weapons. They had sacrificial animals with them, showing that their intention was purely for pilgrimage. However, the Quraysh tribe of Mecca heard about the Muslims' approach. The Quraysh were the leaders of Mecca at that time, and they were not happy with the idea of the Muslims entering the city. They were worried that the Muslims might try to take control of Mecca. So they gathered their forces and blocked the path of the Muslims at a place called Hudaybiyyah, which is about 9 miles outside Mecca. The Quraysh sent a delegation to talk to the Prophet. Among them were Budayy bin Waraka and Urwa bin Masud. Urwa even tried to pull at the Prophet's beard, but the Prophet remained calm and patient. The Prophet Muhammad decided to negotiate with the Quraysh to find a peaceful solution. After several days of negotiations, both sides agreed to a treaty. The treaty was written by Ali bin Abi Talib, one of the Prophet's closest companions. The main terms of the treaty were, number 1, the Muslims would return to Medina without performing Umrah that year, but they could come back the next year to perform Umrah and stay in Mecca for 3 days. Number 2, there would be a 10-year ceasefire between the Muslims and the Quraysh. This meant no fighting between the two groups during this time. Number 3, if a Quraysh person left Mecca and joined the Muslims would send them back to Mecca. But if a Muslim left and went to Mecca, the Quraysh wouldn't send them back. Number 4, both the Muslims and the Quraysh could form alliances with other tribes. At first, many of the Prophet's companions were not happy with the treaty. They felt that the conditions were unfair and that they were being disrespected. But the Prophet Muhammad explained that this treaty was actually a blessing. It gave the Muslims a chance to focus on spreading their message in peace, and it allowed the Quraysh to see the Muslims as equals, not just as a threat. After the treaty was signed, the Prophet Muhammad ordered his companions to sacrifice their animals and exit the state of ihram. At first, the companions were reluctant, but eventually they followed the Prophet's instructions. They then returned to Medina. The treaty had a significant impact on the spread of Islam. With the ceasefire in place, the Muslims were able to focus on preaching their religion. Many people from different tribes started to convert to Islam. The Quraysh also began to see the strength and sincerity of the Muslims. However, 2 years after the treaty was signed, the Quraysh broke one of its terms. The Banu Huzah tribe, which was allied with the Muslims, had a conflict with the Banu Bakr tribe, which was allied with the Quraysh. During the battle, the Quraysh secretly supported the Banu Bakr and killed some members of the Banu Huzah. This violated the treaty's condition of no fighting between the allied tribes. When the Prophet Muhammad heard about this, he decided to take action. He gathered an army of 10,000 Muslims and marched towards Mecca. But instead of causing destruction, he entered Mecca peacefully. This marked a major turning point. The treaty had actually helped the Muslim community grow stronger and more united. The Treaty of Hudaybiyyah is seen as a great example of patience and strategic thinking. It shows how sometimes choosing peace can lead to greater victories in the long run. It's a lesson that's still relevant today, that dialogue and understanding can overcome differences. This was the story of the Treaty of Hudaybiyyah, a moment that changed the course of history. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this.